opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media.
That an elected official or a police chief can stop people who are criminals from being criminals. The government's checkbook is not going to solve the problems that we have. We are never going to get anywhere until you decide that you individually care enough about your community to do something about it.
910 AM Superstation. We're the hottest station in town.
Good morning, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. How are you this morning? Time now is 6 o'clock in the morning. If you've got to be there by 7 o'clock, you've got 1 hour to get there. Listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. They're calling him the Subway Samaritan. A young man by the name of Jordan Neely happened to have been mentally ill and homeless. Apparently, having the homeless ride around all night on subway cars has been a problem in New York City for quite some time. And each administration has decided that they're going to handle the problem in a different way. None of those ways has been, you know what we need to do? We need to make sure we've got enough facilities where we can house homeless people so that they're not riding around on the train all night long. We need to take some sort of action to keep them in a position where they happen to be safe. No, that's not one of the options. One of the options has been to jump on them, to beat them up, to criminalize them for being homeless and for riding around on the subway. By the way, remember this. You don't get a chance to ride on the subway unless you somehow get beyond a subway turnstile. Something happened. Somehow there's been a breakdown. Or are the homeless people able to raise enough money by begging on the corner to get enough money so they can go ride the subway so that they'll be cool in the summer, warm in the winter? Hey, listen, I'm not trying to tell New York City how to raise, how to run their city. The mayor is doing whatever he's going to wind up doing about it. I want to talk today about the difference in who do you make a hero and who do you decide to send to jail, about setting standards about what's right and what's wrong. And should it be the reaction that whenever you see somebody that you don't happen to understand their lifestyle, you don't agree with their lifestyle, whenever somebody does something that happens to be inconvenient to you, should you be allowed to just kill them, period? I mean, if in fact you happen to be a current member of the GOP, that's the way that party is gone. Remember Kyle Rittenhouse? Remember a young man in a position where he wasn't supposed to be carrying a gun he should not have had, still wound up being treated like a hero in the Republican Party because he went and killed two Black Lives Matter protesters. They weren't black people. They just happened to have been taking part in a Black Lives Matter protest. And Kyle Rittenhouse decided to shoot and kill them with a rifle that he brought from another state, and then was allowed to just escape, walk past the police, wave to them with his rifle, get in the car and go back home. And then, days later, they decided to arrest him. And all the way through the trial, was treated like he was a hero. This happens in the Republican Party. They will decide to pick someone out and somebody who emphasizes their position, which is, if in fact somebody makes your life uncomfortable, we need to take whatever steps we can take to get rid of them, even up to and including killing them. And if you wind up having to kill somebody who made your life uncomfortable, well, we're going to make a hero out of you. There's Jordan Neely is dead. His family started a GoFundMe, and they raised a little over $100,000. The young man who choked him to death and now wants to claim self-defense. By the way, there's nobody that's going to say that Jordan Neely happened to have assaulted Daniel Penny. That's not what happened. But Daniel Penny decided that Jordan Neely needed to have been restrained and needed to he wrapped his elbow around him and he choked him out. While, by the way, there were other people helping Daniel Penny hold Jordan Neely down. And they were all upset because Jordan Neely, a homeless, mentally ill person, had been ranting and raving about he was hungry, he needed money, and he had to do something. They just didn't wait until he did it. They decided we're going to restrain you because we don't know what you're going to wind up doing. It's entirely possible that Jordan Neely might have, had they not decided to choke him out and hold him down, he might have did something violent. Or he might have just shut up and went on about his way and went and begged for some more money. We will never know. Didn't get the opportunity to. Let me tell you, in my lifetime, I've had plenty of opportunity to see homeless people who are not just the I'm going to sit in the corner and be quiet homeless. They have been out and out, very, very belligerent. You can tell the ones out that have some mental health issues. And you know what usually happens? We tug at our heartstrings and we say, there before the grace of God go I. Let me make sure that I can do something to help this one individual person. I know we've had the show where we talked about we're not really supposed to take money out of our pocket and give it to the people who are begging on the corner. But come on now. If in fact you have a heart, you all know you've done it. How many of you have seen a homeless person out there and they were begging on the corner, or you assumed that they were homeless because they were begging on the corner? And you said, hold on, let me pull over. Let me roll down my window. Let me not ignore them. Let me give them a little bit of money because you happen to have been raised, in my opinion, right. Because you happen to care about other people and their station in life. Well, yeah, if you happen to be a member of the GOP, you don't belong to that group anymore. You don't care about it, or you don't want to know what we can do to help that person move from the station where they are currently to where they want to be down the road. Members of the GOP say, listen, kill them, choke them out, do whatever you want to wind up doing to them. They are making our lives inconvenient. I don't want to have to see them, people. I don't want to have to hear them. So let's get rid of them. Let's hide them. Well, let's do whatever we can wind up doing to make that problem just go away. Yeah, we already know after they get rid of them, they'll move on to the next group and the next group. And eventually they'll say, listen, let's get rid of all black people. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how do you get to a point in your life. What happened to you to mold you to the point that you figure anybody who happens to be, inconvenient, that you decide, I'm going to take some steps to get rid of them. Not help them, but I'm going to take some steps. Have you ever seen a homeless person on the street? Have you ever, listen, I know we don't have a real subway system here in the city of Detroit. I come from a city and I rode subway many thousands of times. And yeah, sometimes you need to keep your eye open. All the time, you need to keep your eye open. You need to watch each and every person when they get on, because you don't know who's the person just trying to get home at the end of the day, or who's the person that got on because they feel like finding a victim that day. And you've got to be prepared for all of those people when you live in a city that size and you've got public transportation. Hey, right here, yeah, we do have public transportation. And even when you're riding on the bus, sometimes you got to watch the people who are around you. You have no idea. Are you going to be able to have a safe journey on public transportation? Or are you going to wind up getting into some sort of confrontation with somebody? Listen, whether somebody's mentally ill or whether they deliberately decide that they want to make you a victim, you got to watch out for them. And those people exist. But is the solution, let's just kill everybody who happens to make our life inconvenient? Is that the path that we should start on? 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Have we really gotten to that point in our society where, listen, mentally ill people, homeless people, just people we just don't like the way that they look or where they happen to be or how they happen to walk, are we really at that state where we're just going to kill them and get rid of them? And then if they happen to charge you with a crime, we will, come up with all sorts of. Daniel Penny's lawyers had started a a opportunity to try and raise money so that they could wind up getting paid. They apparently used a service called Give, Send, Go. The same service had previously been used to raise funds for the January 6th insurrectionists. They'd raised $280,000. Maybe members of the GOP got involved, particularly Florida Governor DeSantis. He said this man's a hero and we all need to give him money. And then that $280,000 ballooned because of the word of Ron DeSantis, ballooned from $280,000 to well over $2 million. The difference between that $280,000 and that $2 million is more of it attests more to the ability to raise funds and who those people are that gave to them. But it tells you something about those people who gave to that fund. Listen, there's a Republican running for president who gave $10,000 to that fund. There's a person by the name of, who I'm not even going to use his name. There happens to be a rock and roll superstar who does a lot of appearances with a Confederate flag in the background, and he happens to have some ties to here in the Metro Detroit area. I'm not mentioning his name, but he also is one of the top donors. He's been given the title of having made large contributions to the same $2 million fund. Those folks line up to tell you how they feel. The people that gave to that fund said, listen, you might not understand it, but I understand. That tells you a whole lot about who those people are individually. And we happen to have to watch out for them. Those people walk the planet every day the way we do. They were raised entirely different than you and I. Understand this. A lot of folks have an entirely different opinion than you might have or I might have. But I sure don't think that we are at a point where we should start to make heroes out of people who killed somebody simply because they happen to be in the way and they happen to be inconvenient. Tell me what you think. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Dorian. Good morning, Dorian. If Dorian's not there, go to Leona.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, who's this? This Michael or Dorian?
It's Dorian.
How come I can't hear you?
Can you hear me now?
I hear you better now. Thank you. Yeah, it always helps when you get near the microphone, brother. What's going on?
Right. First you heard. Black folks, we ain't gonna never be heroes, in this country. We are, your enemy can kill you, but your friends, the people that know you, will hurt you. It's very obvious that we live in a racist society. This country is quadruply divided. And this is just more evidence that what we need to be focusing and protesting on is the fact, like you said, 2 million on one end and 100,000 on the other for the victims. That man probably never earned 100,000 begging or working in his entire life. He had to die for that. So what we need to be worried about, what we need to be focusing on, more Black economics. We are so far behind on the scoreboard that it would take a miracle for us to even catch up to even donate $2 million for a victim like that. That's the problem. That's what we need to be focusing on, as opposed to the actual incident. Because the incident occurred. It's going to always occur. How often do we hurt ourselves, yet we don't protest, yet we don't economically help each other out? We don't even open doors for each other. This is our people. You see this every day. We will get contact. Only certain individuals that's Black will speak to another Black person. Majority of the time. You honestly,
let me ask this, because a lot of people don't know this, but do you believe that there's enough money in our community alone that we could have raised $2 million and given it to that young man's family if we wanted to?
You got athletes. You got about maybe.
Forget the athletes. Forget the entertainers. Right here in Detroit, that there is enough money that Black folks have in the city, in their bank accounts, in their 401ks, sitting up under the mattress, that they could have made enough money to have donated. Everybody could have donated $50 and it would have gone over $2 million anyway, but we don't do it.
We're talking about a homeless man You know you're not a citizen in this country if you're not paying no taxes.
We gotta go to break, brother. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. Don't go away. I'm gonna let you finish up and we come back on the other side of the break. It's a very quick break. It's only 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. Get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature is fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I've had no energy for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials, and you don't know if something's going to help you or not. But I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days to taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Go ahead, brother. You can finish up. If we lost Dorian, then don't worry about it. Go ahead and go to Michael. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your mind this morning, Michael?
Hey, what's on my mind is this: if they're going to raise all this money for the guy who killed he killed him. He did not can claim any defense or anything about that. He killed him, period. So it's just going to be another Kyle Rittenhouse deal where he's winding up killing somebody and he's walking away, or it's just that America's going to wake up one morning and they're going to find themselves somebody put them in a headlock and choke them. That's, matter of fact, instead of just using the racial component in this, let's have white people kill white people that way and see if they get off like that. See, that's the problem with our culture and our media too, because our media is picking and choosing what crime they're going to broadcast and how the crime is being done and everything. It's an industry behind this. It's not just me and you. Me and you know the difference between a crime and somebody committing the crime. It's just an industry that want you to keep watching
Michael,
or keep listening.
the truth of the matter is things are criminal if the people decide that they're criminal, and things become not criminal if enough people have decided. We don't think that should be a punishment anymore. I mean, just look at what's happened with marijuana in the last 10 or 15 years. Here's the real quick story. 3 weeks ago, there was no such thing as a gun-free zone in downtown Detroit. Now, our governor and our legislature has moved with very quick, deliberate speed to decide that they are going to pass a law allowing Detroit to set certain areas of downtown as gun-free zones. They're going to protect those areas where white folks hang out in the city of Detroit. Listen, laws change overnight when they want to wind up changing overnight. Nobody has bothered yet doing any doggone thing about police brutality in our community, even with Democrats in control of both houses and the governor's office. That hasn't happened. But boy, let there be an area where white folks go hang out in Detroit, and oh my God, the black folks from the city and the suburbs happen to hang out down there and riot, and they will move very quickly to fix that situation. Laws change when people have decided that the laws are going to change. Come on now. But if in fact, should we be allowed to just say, you know what? Because here's the one thing that worries me. Let me ask you a question, Michael. Have you seen homeless people on the street before?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever heard somebody that was homeless who also happens to have a mental health issue and see them hollering and screaming and acting, let's use the word crazy, out in public?
I've seen homeless people that was dead, that was laying out dead. You know they were dead.
The dead is another thing. I want to talk about those who are belligerent. Have you ever seen homeless folks who shout, scream, and act maybe what potentially they might be a little bit dangerous? Do you think that we should be individuals, the citizens, those of us that are walking around, that we should be given the power or the authority to just walk up and say, you know what? I don't like the way you acted. You might wind up hurting somebody that I know or I love. We should be allowed to knock you down, choke you out, and hold you down because we think you're a problem. Do you think that, or let me ask you this, when you saw the person acting that way, did you think I individually got to go over and knock them down? Or did you think, yeah, that's how crazy people act out on the street all the time, and maybe I should mind my own business, leave him alone, and maybe he'll just go down the street and yell, holler, and scream, or maybe somebody give him some money, he'll go get something to eat and do something about it. Do you think that we should be at a point where every time you see somebody on the street that you determine they're homeless or they're crazy, they might not even be homeless, we don't really know their story, but when you see them out in the street hollering and screaming, should you be allowed to just go choke them out?
No. And that's because I'm a man of faith. As a man of faith, I believe that God loves us all, regardless of what we come short of, what man is, or men are.
The way I was raised, Michael, sounds like you was raised right. But I'm telling you, there are people out there that obviously feel like, you know what, I don't like those people. That's inconvenient. We got to get rid of them. We got to do something about them. We need to control them or choke them out.
I got one more.
Michael, you still there? You said hello? Michael, call back. Your phone cut off. Go to Fidel. Good morning, Fidel.
Hey, good morning. Hey, Kerry, blacks, yeah, they got the money. Like, you let Michael Jordan release some shoes, and tomorrow the line gonna be wrapped around the corner. You let a big concert come in and tickets $200-$300, that concert's gonna sell out, and they're gonna be thinking about adding a.
And it ain't white folks buying the tickets. There are Negroes that are buying those tickets. People in your community have plenty of money, right? So don't tell me that they are broke and that we couldn't individually. Forget black folks in Chicago, Cleveland, every place else. There's enough black folks in Detroit that have enough money that they could have raised $2 million to send a homeless man and take care of him if they wanted to.
We're too distracted. Every 2 to 3 weeks, give or take, they got us distracted by this day, that day, Punksy Day, Irish Day, tell you when you love your mama. That money is going out the door and it should be going back to the black struggle. Kerry, when you talk about the mental ill, it's a thin line. I'm not saying kill somebody, but like over here where I'm at, it's a woman that stay at the store. She just begging for money. When she don't get her way, guess what she do? She get butt booby. You hear me? Take off there. I took a picture of her and sent it to one of the callers that called in a lot. She was like, "Oh my God, you got a guy that will pull this jammy out and take a piss right in the parking lot." Here's my thing, Kerry. What if me and you pulling up and we got our kids in the car? What do we do? You say call the police. Police been over here 1,001 times.
The police are not. That is not a priority. Homeless folks are not a priority for the police.
They come in. But what do you do when a man pulls his jammy out and decides to use the bathroom broad daylight, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, kids getting out of school, the first thing order being kids is running to the store. And it's like, no, I don't want to kill you, but at the same time, so what I have learned to do, I gave him some choice work. Here, what you do, don't do it around here. And so far, it's been working. But what about the times I'm not here? How do you handle it?
Explain to your kids that some people have mental health issues. Sometimes you take out some money and give it to them. Sometimes you got to talk to that homeless person and tell them, listen, I ain't trying to hurt you or anything, but you really need to go over some. I got places I can refer you to. But what you want to do, you shouldn't be doing it right here. If you wind up in the store with the person, if you happen to be in the thing, I mean, that's a whole nother discussion about should the store clerk be allowed to lock you in the door with the person that might be acting out a little bit. That is a whole nother show in and of itself. But with the store, you've got to try just like any other. If you decide that situation is dangerous, you got to be able to get yourself away from the dangerous situation. If it's not dangerous, then you've got to, if you were raised right, at least the way that I believe, and you perceive that this person has a problem, figure out what you can do to try and help them or solve the problem or get away from the situation. Here's what's not on the list: kill them.
And the bottom line is, we are not programmed to help each other out like white folks are programmed to help each other out. We got people in place. You got Supreme Court judges, you got Michigan Supreme Court, you got lawyers, you got judges, you got entertainers. We just not programmed like that, and we know that. I don't know why we keep saying why we don't. We're not programmed like that. You got to leave.
You say that so that you can recognize what the problem is and then figure out how to change it. Maybe it's time to change the program of the folks in our community.
Yeah, have a great morning.
Thanks. Let's let Michael wrap up before we go to break. You got cut off, Michael. Go ahead. What happened? What did you want to say?
I want to say, is it just the media playing off on us compassion fatigue? Because it's like every time these stories come up, they look for a response coming from people of color. And they looking for that audience also, because they're not getting much of the audience like they want to. So
the media absolutely is playing you like a fiddle. The same media that will every day you turn the TV on, they want to tell you that this border down with Mexico, the border has been there as long as this planet has been here, that somehow, oh my God, in the last week, it's horrible and people are coming across it and you need to fear it. So when somebody goes crazy and decides to drive his car into a whole bunch of Mexicans that are sitting on the curb, then everybody says, oh my God, why did he do it? We already know why he did it. Because the media, you're right, the media goes out of their way to scare you and to frighten you. And I'm hoping and praying that folks, especially those who listen to my show, are a lot smarter to know, listen, we are not going to fall for that, and we are not going to go out and victimize people because you decided we should victimize them.
All right. And I'm going to leave it there and let you go on here with your message.
Thanks for calling back, Michael. Have a great morning.
All right.
313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Got to take the second break of the morning. It's a very quick break, and we'll be right back.
This report is sponsored by STEM.
Humans can do a lot of amazing things. Fighting bugs? Ew, a bug, get it, isn't one of them. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to fight off bugs safely and effectively when used as directed. STEM STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
The all-new 910 Superstation is your #1 source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Good Pods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town. 910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 248-357-4566. Or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming on Mondays at 8 p.m. Catch a 2-hour block of Law and Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38.
The 910 AM live stream can now be seen on Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, YouTube Red, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Android tablet, Amazon Kindle Fire, any Windows phone, or watch us live at 910amsuperstation.com.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit, only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio was 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. Percy, if I get this wrong, I need you to call in and correct what, because Percy sent me something that while I was getting ready to go on the air, it's being built as a career combine on May 20th from 7 a.m. to noon. You can come find out all of the information you need regarding getting a 4-year tuition-free skilled trades internship. 4-year tuition-free skilled trades internship. Contact Jamal Al, A-L, at area code 313-350-7836. 313-350-7836. Percy, I can't make out because there's a little a scan code on there that I guess gives more details about where the career combine is going to be located. It wasn't in the notice, and I didn't have time to take the camera, point it at the code, open, go to the website, and things like that. So call in and you can tell us the rest of the details of the career combine on May 20th, 7 a.m. to noon. But for other information, y'all can call Jamal Al, A-L, Jamal Al, at area code 313-350-7836, 313-350-7836 to get information on a 4-year tuition-free skilled trades internship. If you want to be part of building not just your community here or any other communities around the country, get on the phone, call, and go take part in the career combine. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. This morning we're talking about the Republicans have, you've all seen the story about Jordan Neely, a Michael Jackson impersonator who regularly rode the New York City subways. Apparently, he's on the list of one of the 50 most problematic homeless people inside the city of New York. And they have a list. And they've even written out the list and they've published it to other police departments to let them know this person he's a nuisance. I'll give y'all that he's a nuisance. Does that mean that your solution should be to leave him out there and be a nuisance, or should you take some sort of steps to fix the problem? Jerome is posted in the feed about the fact that here in Michigan, we used to have facilities where they treated homeless people, and we already know what happened in 1991. This is 2023. And in 1991, the facilities were closed by the then governor of the state of Michigan because the state was spending more money on the facility, paying 90 employees to house and take care of 3 or 4 different people, or less than 10. And so the governor decided that does not make sense. Let's close those facilities, ship those people somewhere else, and we can wind up deploying that money for better use and allow the family to decide how to take care of their loved one. Listen, in some situations, was it cold-hearted to close down facilities that you were basically money pits? I think it made perfect sense to close down facilities that were money pits. But what happened is what was supposed to take place of it didn't. And so now, 32 years later, whining about what happened in 1991 is not going to get us anywhere. Should any of the Republican or multiple Democrats that have been in office actually have taken some steps to fix that problem? Or do you honestly think we're going to get any real mileage out of just sitting around saying, let's be mad at them about what happened in 1991. Let's keep banging that drum over and over again. Understand this. When you do that, you become part of that is nothing except to feed the folks that want to say, oh, Republicans are horrible, just like Republicans making a hero out of the subway Samaritan is simply helping them raise money to use in campaigns so the people can run for office again. They don't really care about whether or not Mr. Neely winds up actually being found not guilty and going back out in the street. They want to keep their people involved and giving money. And if the fund that was $280,000 can within days of the Florida governor saying, this man's a hero, we need to give him money. If that fund goes from $280,000 to well over $2 million, because of his word, he's got a large following and those people have money and that's what they do with it, period. It's up to you to decide that you care enough about yourself and the people in your community that you're actually going to do something about it. You're going to wind up going under the pillow, using the money that you hide under the mattress and put your money where your mouth is. You're actually going to take some steps to do something about the problems in your community. Because obviously the folks that are on the other side are well-financed and they already are showing they are ready to step out and do whatever and spend whatever in order to get their way. 313-778-7600. Let's go back to the phones. Let's talk to Ms. Leona. Good morning, Ms. Leona. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Pretty good. What's on your mind this morning?
Well, I agree with you when you say in 91 when England closed the medical people for homeless and mentally ill people. Why complain about that? How many how many Democrat governors have we had since England? They could have done something about that. And the people in the city of Detroit, we have the money. And do whatever you have, if you put it together, you can accomplish something. We have people that have spent $300 and $400 for gym shoes, but we need a cause to look out for the less fortunate. They say they don't have money, so I don't blame the other race. I blame our race because we don't stick together. We don't love each other. And I have ran across 2 or 3 homeless people when I was working. And one lady one day was past me and I looked at her And I said, this lady has a problem. So she says, I'm hungry. I said, well, okay, come on, I'll take you to KFC. So they let me know that she was hungry. She went with me, so when we get in KFC, she was telling me what part of chicken that she wanted. I told her, you gonna eat the part that I eat. So, and she was hungry. She took it and she went outside and ate the food. And then one time I was passing a homeless baby, young woman, and I could tell something was wrong because she was talking to herself before she got to me. And she said, I don't want no quarter, I want $1. So I just kept on walking. But our people, we can put our money together and we can help each other, but I don't know, we don't help the other races, but we won't help each other. So I guess we just keep on hoping and praying that we'll come together and look out and love each other.
No, that's not it. What's going to happen? So because that, let me say this. Let me tell you about the power of radio. Because Ms. Leona, you just said what you said. There's somebody who's listening who today, not a week from today or a month from today, that today they're actually going to think about take their actions. They're actually going to wind up taking some sort of activity. They're going to undertake an activity to go and help somebody else. Whether they're going to end up buying some food or a burger or a piece of chicken for somebody who's homeless, whether they wind up donating money to a local homeless shelter, they are going to decide to do something about the problem instead of sit around and complain about it. There are plenty of people who can hear your voice now, and somebody is going to understand the point that you just made, which is spending money on useless stuff like gym shoes or the finest wine or any of that other stuff is crazy when you can actually put your money to good use to wind up helping somebody. That's why I do these shows. That's why I want folks to start to think, I need more people. I need you to call as often as possible, because clearly you've been raised right in your, would you say, 80 plus years to learn some of the lessons. And I want you to share those lessons with the other people out there. So, don't give up. I need you to keep understanding and to keep calling and to sharing your wisdom, because eventually you will get through to somebody. You might not get through to 100 people. You might not get through to 1,000 people, but if you get through to 10 of them, then those 10 will actually make a difference. Okay?
You're absolutely right. I enjoy the show. I enjoy listening to the different comments, and we're not going to agree with each other, but sometimes I just listen and you can tell where a person is coming from if they make certain comments, and then when they say things that I think apply to older people, I don't respond, because when you respond, that brings on disagreement. So I just stay on to listen, but I enjoy listening to 910. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you so much. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to, it says Heal. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. This is Hill.
Hi. What's on your mind this morning?
Man, these damn Republicans, Engler, Snyder, Granholm. What was on Engler's mind?
Granholm is not a Republican.
Engler?
Granholm was not a Republican.
Oh, I thought she was.
She's not.
Well, I still know.
Who does she work for right now? Do you know who she works for right now?
No, I'd have to Google it.
Don't Google it. Don't worry about it. You can Google it if you want to. But Granholm, who happened to have been in office a couple of terms, is a Democrat. And she could have, at any point in time, other than just fighting with the Republicans, have decided that in their budget, I'm going to put the money back. The same thing that our current governor is doing, which is every single thing that the Republicans did, I got a list and I'm going to check it off, because now I've got a Democrat-controlled House and Senate. So she's decided that she's going to fix all of the problems that the Republicans created. I really wish to somehow get police to stop beating up on black people would wind up crossing her mind, but it hasn't. They're playing the music. He'll do me a favor. Don't go anywhere. I got to take a break. It's a very quick break. It's only 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. Have you thought about advertising your business on our 9 10 a.m. Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
The all-new 910 Superstation is your number one source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Good Pods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. All right, Hill, go ahead. I'm going to let you go and wrap up, and then we'll move to another caller.
We're spending billions and trillions in Ukraine. They can't build. We can't correct the Republicans' mistakes to build a state-of-the-art facility to house mental people. That's disgusting.
I agree with you, and I think that that's what needs to be done. That instead of sitting around and complaining about what happened 33 years ago, it's time to say maybe we need to wind up addressing the problem so that we can stop having mentally ill people fill up the jails and be, housed, living up under bridges and things like that. Homelessness is a problem that can be solved if folks actually decide that they really want to solve it. Thanks for calling this morning, Hill. Let's go to Tenora. Good morning, Tenora. How are you this morning?
I'm simply wonderful, Kerry. How are you?
Pretty good. What's on your mind today?
Okay, so from your caller a couple before, most people know that when I've called in, I've always said, I'm a veteran and I try to do as much as I can to promote anything that's going on with the VA and what's going on with the veterans. The VA isn't always what's bad. A lot of times the VA is also what's good. So today at the Detroit VA and any VA anywhere here in the U.S., we're having what they call a VA 2K. And they're walking, running, rolling to promote um, getting VA homelessness to an end. We're doing the VA outreaches and everything. So they ask people, if you have something, bring something. You know, the homeless and the homeless that the VA takes care of, you know, they always need socks, deodorant, body wash, you know, deodorant, things like that. And they have things like that that's going on. So today I'm walking at the Detroit VA. If you're a little bit further away, I have friends who are up at the Saginaw VA, and the Saginaw VA is walking. I know the Kalamazoo VA is also walking. So if you're anywhere near any VA today, and if you, whether you stop at a dollar store, you stop at family meals, or you stop someplace, pick up a little bit of something and just take it in and make a little donation. The VA would appreciate and say thank you for any little thing that you bring in. So my thing today is the VA toothpaste, and I miss you, Kim.
I'll call you over the weekend. We miss hearing from you too, Tenora. We love you. So today, listen, y'all, that's the one thing. Sorry, she got cut off. The thing that hasn't been mentioned is that we have in this country hundreds of thousands. Republicans will never admit this, that we have hundreds of thousands of veterans who returned from serving our country and keeping us safe, who happen to not have enough money in order that they're not homeless. Homeless veterans all over the country are a huge problem, have been for decades, and we've done nothing to solve it. This gives you, as Tenora just told you about the VA 2K today, gives you an opportunity to actually give some money to help solving the problem. That you can stop by any Veterans Administration hospital, whether it's here, whether it's in Saginaw, whether it's in Kalamazoo, any of the VA hospitals throughout our country, the VA system, they will be having walkathons today, walk or run-a-thons today. And you can go by and bring food, clothing, whatever you want to wind up giving so that they can help. It will go towards a perfect cause, which is trying to end homelessness for veterans in our country. Thank you for calling, Tenora. Let's go to New Tim. Good morning, New Tim.
Yes, good morning. I'm enjoying the conversation as usual. You know, as far as dealing with mental ill people, I deal with every day to do the job that I currently hold. You know, one's got to quit being played like Trump played us. You know, that's all DeSantis is doing. He took a book, a play from out of Trump's playbook, and he's using it against us. You know, I don't believe everyone who is black and everyone who is white are evil people and things like that. But the way DeSantis is doing it, he's trying to do it the same way Trump did it, but what they call Rittenhouse thing. And one's got to realize that just like there are poor black people, there are poor white people out there, and they are willing to donate money just to make somebody else rich, or just so someone else can get in the White House. And one's got to realize that. Do I believe there's enough money in the city of Detroit to raise that money? Yes, but they choose to buy for the governor and go and patronize these legal weed places and things like that. You know, it's more than enough money in the city of Detroit. You know, there's enough money in the city of Detroit to solve our homelessness, but ones choose not to.
Listen, I said it before, I'll say it again. Homelessness can be solved anytime we actually make a real commitment to addressing and solving the problem. It's just that as a society, not just in our community, but throughout our country, we've not yet decided that we care that much about those folks who are homeless in order to wind up finding them a place to live, or making sure that we build enough places, enough affordable places where they actually can wind up living without the fear of being thrown back out into the street. As a society, we've got to make that commitment. And whether it's homelessness, whether it's mental health folks, whether it is, guess what? Sometimes they're both homeless and mental illness. We've got to help address those problems and not ignore them or treat them like they're a nuisance and they need to be choked out. That's the best way that I can say it. All right, we're out of time. Thank you all for getting up and for joining me this morning. Everybody who called and shared, we really love and appreciate you. Keep up the good work. We'll be back. I'll be back in front of this microphone tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. But for now, it's time for the Joel Jones Show. Either Joel or a member of the foundation will be here to bring you information and inspiration from 7 to 9, followed by the attorney Anthony Adams Show from 9 to 11. Y'all know that Anthony's out of town this week. I will be sitting in for him next Monday. There will be others covering them or pre-recorded shows for the rest of this week. Just stay tuned right here to 9:10 a.m. Superstation. I look forward to talking to each and every one of y'all at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Go out, enjoy the sun. Have a great day. Stay safe. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning.